Ayomikun Alao reporting news at 9 for Wisdom Yard Television. Full price skyrockets as liter sells for 500 naira in Ondo. Full subsidy, you are hypocrites. XDP's Adebayo tackles labor unions. Police dismiss sergeant over 98,000 naira extortion. Petrol dealers in Ondo State have increased the price of petrol to 500 naira per litre. This development followed the adjustment in the pump price by NNPCL. This came after President Bola Tinubu, during inauguration, announced that the petrol subsidy was gone. Long queues characterized the few filling stations that dispense the product across the state, even as residents groaned over scarcity. While many had been selling the products for 500 naira since the president made the announcement, others who had been ordering the products started selling at 500 naira per litre after Wednesday's adjustment by the NNPCL. Both independent and major marketers in the state sold the product at the rate of 500 naira per litre. A commercial driver, Lamidi Adeyemi, who was interviewed, said most of the filling stations that are selling have increased their pump price to 500 naira. Meanwhile, commercial drivers plying both inter and intra-state have increased transport fare by 100 and 200% depending on the routes. Civil servants and students were seen trekking to their offices and school following the hike in fares. The presidential candidates of the Social Democratic Party (SDP) during the 2023 general election, Prince Adewale Ebenezer Adebayo, yesterday criticized the labor union's hypocritical attitude towards the full subsidy debate. He said the unions were in support of all the three major political parties, especially the Labour Party, which is supposed to be the pro-workers' interest, that promised to remove the full subsidy if voted into office. He wondered why the same unions, especially the Trade Union Congress (TUC), is criticizing the pronouncement of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's removal of the subsidy. Adebayo said it was too late in the day for the labor unions to be complaining about the full subsidy removal when they should have tackled the Buhari administration, who stand as the initiator of the removal process while in office. He wondered why they were complaining now and then. In actual fact, all of them, including the Labour Party, all supported the removal of fuel subsidy. He said the TUC and Labour were not overseas when the Appropriation Act 2023 was passed. Where were they that they did not engage on that issue when the debate was still in open as to whether who should form a government that would remove subsidy or not? They went with the people that said they should remove subsidy. For as long as we continue to allow people to take advantage of the leadership of Nigerian workers, we would not address this issue. There are two positions you can take on subsidy: remove or not remove. They were on the side of removal. They were also around when the immediate past government passed the PIA. Pengasan, the industrial union, representing them, was supporting it. Pengasan met in Calabar and said the subsidy must go. In the course of electioneering, the Appropriation Act was passed. They didn't fight or argue with the government, and the government passed the law. And the reason why we're discussing this now, or because I consider to be a mistake from the president, make a policy statement on that sensitive issue in an unclear way, is in his inauguration address, which has now caused some panic before the policy would take effect. He said the results of the election showed that the people also wanted removal of subsidy, because if you look at the votes, they voted massively for the political parties who said they are going to remove full subsidy. They voted APC, PDP, and Labour Party. Communication of the president to the people, he said, are going to bear the brunt of the effects of removal. He insisted that it was only SDP that campaigned that it would continue the subsidy arrangement by removing the corruption inherent in the process, even as he explained that despite the legal landmines around the Petroleum and Industry Act, he would have negotiated his way out to continue the full subsidy if his party had won the election. The dismissed sergeant collected the phone of his victim and used a POS operator to transfer 98,000 naira out of the 100,000 naira in the young man's bank account. The police command in Lagos State has announced the dismissal of Sergeant Ekwo Shimuyere, attached to Shogunle Division, for extorting a young man of 98,000 naira. The command's spokesperson, SP Benjamin Udeyi, told newsmen on Wednesday that the Provost Department of the command has already disrobed and dismissed the sergeant, and according to him, the dismissed sergeant collected the phone of his victim and used the POS operator to transfer 98,000 naira out of 100,000 naira in the young man's bank account. Udeyi said the action of the policeman was contrary to the ethics of the profession. We followed due process to get his account. The victim was invited in course of the investigation and he testified. The POS operator was also invited, and he said the officer requested him to transfer the money from the victim's account to another one, Udeyi added. He said the sergeant was consequently subjected to orderly room trial in line with the extant laws. The Commissioner of Police, Lagos Command, Mr. Idowu Owonua, have reviewed the orderly room procedure of the officer with force number 461654 attached to Shogunle Police Division and have approved the punishment of dismissal from the force, he said. Udeyi said that the commissioner warned officers and men against any form of corruption, stressing that the dismissal was to serve as a deterrent to others. He further warned the command would continue to punish any police officer found to have engaged in unprofessional conduct. Here are the headlines again. Fuel price skyrockets as liter sells for 500 naira in Ondo. Full subsidy, you are hypocrites. SDP's Adebayo tackles labor unions. Police dismiss sergeants over 98,000 naira extortion. Thank you very much for staying tuned with us. I am Ayomiko Alao.